What's going to be? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know who it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. Hey, everybody, we're in November right now, and well, let me put it this way. We've talked to certain bands in this podcast already this year. We're like, this is album of the year material. This band definitely hits on that mark, and I still haven't even heard the whole thing. I'm still blown away by what this band has already created from their first album, and now this next album coming out called All Fine on November 18th. Man, this podcast is one that makes me incredibly happy to bring to you guys, to make sure you guys get to know this band even more. Before we go into that, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Manscaped. So, ladies and gentlemen, Christmas is coming up because, well, we're past Halloween, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're seeing all like the Christmas ads and whatnot, and well, apparently I got to do them too. So when it comes to Manscaped, yeah, they're going to be right there for you to make sure you give the best gift, the gift of clean bushes. Clean bushes. Best kept boys down there? Yes, I'm talking about, your balls. Yep, so that's where Manscaped comes in. Their best care for your boys down there, best in men's health. And when it comes down to it, I mean, you want to make sure that, you're as healthy as possible, especially going into 2023. So that's where Manscaped come and make sure you look your best, you're your best, and that your boys are feeling the best. Make sure you do that with the Lawnmower 4.0, the best trimmer on the market to date for your stuff down there, as it has skin-safe technology. The blade for the shaver is kind of ceramic in a way, so it helps prevent those nick cuts. You don't want to get those cuts going on there. It is also waterproof and has a 4K LED light that lights up like a Christmas tree to make sure you can see what you're doing down there and making sure that you are as good as possible in between your legs, I guess. Well, that's kind of how I'm just saying it. But you can get 20% off your entire order and free shipping using the code CPP at checkout. Get the gift of smooth balls and great care down there for someone in your life. Manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. Use the code CPP. Now to our feature presentation. This band I had back on the podcast in March of 2020, right after the release of their debut album called God Made Hell. At that time, they were at about 10,000 Spotify listeners monthly. We shot this episode the day after the release of their single, Obla Di Obla Die. Yeah, 122,000 now. Yeah, this band's on the rise. 2.5 years in the making. Their brand new album, All Fine, which is an album of the year contender if you like metalcore, deathcore, and it's theatrical, orchestral feel behind it is so grand, so epic. These songs are fantastic. This is an episode that you're going to want to listen to the whole entire thing through, and a band that you are not going to want to miss out on. So please welcome the guys from Stain the Canvas back to the Chord Progression Podcast. Are you guys ready to get into one of the best bands you will ever find out about in your entire life? Right now, you better be. Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. This episode has been, I would say, 2.5 years in the making. This band was the first band I had on the podcast when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, right after the release of their debut album, God Made Hell, which was absolutely one of my favorite albums in 2020. Now, we're towards the end of 2022. They have a brand new record called All Fine coming out on November 18th. And is it as good as the first one? No, it's even better than the first one. From all the singles that are out right now, this thing is nuts. Their growth has been insane over the past 2.5 years, and I can't wait to talk to them all about it and make sure you guys get in with this band, listen to this band, and see them live. You get a chance. So please welcome Bryan, Lorenzo, and Ricardo from Stain the Canvas to the Chord Progression Podcast. So guys, I'll say it. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here, actually.
Yeah, we're waiting for 2 years, but we're here now.
We were waiting, and it's finally have you guys back. So how has everything been on your end, especially as, seeing 2022 live shows have come back? You're right about to release the new album. How has everything been going for you guys at this moment?
We're pretty hyped, actually, because we can't wait to announce something really cool, but we can't actually spoil anything right now. But we're going to announce something really, really cool after we after we put out the album, or maybe
No,
even
I think earlier,
earlier.
like
Yeah,
mid-October.
maybe. Yeah. So be ready.
I mean, you're getting my hopes up already. I'm already in anticipation of what this announcement's going to be. And I want to ask you now, but if you can't give it out now, I totally understand. But man, my mind's already starting to race. Like, what could it be? What possible, if it's a tour, who could they be going out with? Where could they be going? And am I possibly be able to actually get to mosh to one of your shows for the first time and just absolutely lose my mind? Like, is it going to happen? But if you can't say, I understand.
Thank you for understanding.
Yeah, we can't say anything.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are very welcome. I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but I mean, everything that I've seen from you guys, especially over the past 2.5 years, the first time we aired on the podcast, I mean, I'll just go back to the Spotify monthly listener count. You guys were about 10,000 right after the release of God Made Hell. Now, the day we're recording this, the day after the single Obladi Obladai released, you guys are at 122,000, and especially after the release of that single, I feel like it's only going to go up. And then when you get to the release of the album, it's just going to continue to go up. Like, this is one of the best rises I've seen the entire year, and I'm so happy that it's happening to you guys with your sound and just bringing this epic feeling of a great band to the forefront. And right as I say that, looks like we're going to have one more person join us.
Oh, who could it be?
I wonder who could it be?
That's all good.
Well, his audio's on. There's the video. Let's get the audio off of mute.
Yeah.
There we go. Ellie, you there?
How's it going?
Hey, Ale.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Perfect. Well, Ali, welcome back to the Chord Progression Podcast, man. How's everything been on your end? And even though we started maybe about 5 minutes before you jumped on, it's okay. So how have things been on your end, especially, you know, as we're getting ready to the release of All Fine to the world and for everyone to just be blown away by what you guys have created?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we can wait actually to release All Fine.
Yeah. We worked so hard for this album, for this record, so we can't really wait to put it out.
Well, let's jump into the record. Let's not make anybody wait. So when it came to this record, especially after God Made Hell, what was the process of making this record like? What was the inspiration behind this whole entire thing? And especially with some of those features you got in there, like Famous Last Words, Outline in Color, The Word Alive, like how did this all come together? I'm really curious about this.
Okay, the inspiration came from the dark times we all passed through these years. You know, COVID. We couldn't tour. Our first tour in Europe was canceled in the middle.
Yeah, in the middle for COVID restrictions.
Yeah, due COVID, and you know, we even maybe lost that passion we had before at some point, so
because God Made Hell was released like the week before all the
pandemic. So we couldn't do anything. We felt like, you know, powerless. So this is pretty much what All Fine is about.
Kind of just letting out all that aggression from not being able to properly tour off of your debut album because right when it comes out, boom, the entire world ends up going into shutdown mode and we can't do anything about it. And then it takes a while just for anything to get back live music wise. And then live music comes back, you guys start touring, and then, like you said, it got canceled in the middle due to COVID restrictions. And that is just terrible, especially because with that album and with that sound, it's so epic. It's just so, I think we talked about, it's like theatrical and orchestral, but also heavy and raw at the exact same time. It's something that it's like, it deserves that grand stage. It needs that live setting to be as powerful as possible. And to have a tour just like your first one back from the pandemic, first one with God Made Hell, get cut short because of COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
That's just not fair.
No, it's not. But shit happens, I guess.
Not at all.
That's the best way to describe it. Shit happens. Who was that tour with, if you don't mind me asking?
Elaine and Encore.
Encore.
from Spain, Encore.
Yeah,
And
Line are
our friends.
yeah, our mates in Italy. They're under our same roster, under
Of management.
yeah, of management. Yeah.
I do remember that because I think it was at like literally maybe 2 weeks after I interviewed guys the first time I had a line on, and it was just like, oh my god, these Italian metalcore bands, I have no idea why people are sleeping on them. Like, this sound is absolutely incredible. And for me, it all started out with you guys when one of my buddies said, you have to check this out. And well, that was almost 3 years ago, and we're still here. We're still going crazy to it. I mean, we were playing this stuff, like driving to the Louder Than Life Festival here in the United States. And then when we were in the parking lot waiting to go in, we're all hanging out in the parking lot, you know, drinking beer, shooting the shit with everybody. I've got my car still running, windows down, radio turned all the way up, and my buddy's got his phone. All of a sudden, like 3 of your songs come on, and everyone's just jamming out to him, wondering, who the heck is this band? And all of a sudden, you see me and him are just like, oh, we get to show you something good today.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. But also, you know, go through all those times, and then you said, you know, it felt like you lost your passion for a lot of this stuff, especially, you know, not being able to tour off the first album because of the pandemic, then the tour cancellation. What was it like to try and get that passion back through this album? What was it like to go from, you know, potentially losing that passion to coming back as full force as you did with All Fine, just bringing that energy right back, bringing that passion right back, and bringing that creativity back to create something that in my mind already is better than your first one by miles. And that first one was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
actually, I wrote about this actually on Puppet. That is a song, Feet Get Scared, that has to be released or yet, yeah. And actually, we didn't. I personally, I didn't have any passion doing this actually, because the only thing that made me keep doing it was the fact that I gave it to this band, I gave it to my dreams so much that it was just stupid. I just couldn't leave it all and fuck shit up. So yes, that's, for me personally, that's the only thing that made me go on and keep writing, keep producing. But yeah, now everything is going right. At least it seems. So yeah, I think I passed that darker moment of my life, and now it's all, you know, it's all fine.
All fine. We'll put that in quotes once again, just because, well, nothing's ever all fine. But I'm glad to hear that, you know, even through this process and just the amount of care that you have for the rest of your bandmates, when it came to just not having that passion, just trying to find a way just to continue on and just find a way to reignite it. Like, that was your what's the best way to put it? That was your inspiration to keep going, was the people you have around you, wanting to make sure that you could continue on and not let them down. And again, what you guys came up with, oh dear God. If I just gotta say, it's an album of the year contender, and it's all like, there's the singles are out, but it's pretty clear just the diversity path in terms of sound, along again with keeping your core sound at the center of it. This is straight album of the year material for 2022. So it's gonna be interesting to see, especially at the end of the year, when all these big, you know, YouTubers, all the like Alan Harrington on Twitter, seeing all these people that a lot of people follow in the rock and metal world when it comes to these like influencer types, when they make their end of the year lists. I'm wondering heavily, where are you guys gonna rank on these? Because it's gotta be high. It's gotta be pretty high.
Thank you.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I do want to ask Bryan a quick question, though, because when I first listened to the first album, God May Hell, you're like the unclean vocals, like those just like dirty screams, like they're just so powerful, so raw. It reminded me a lot of like Ollie Sykes from the early days of Bring Me the Horizon, as I'm wearing my Bring Me the Horizon shirt. I'm just curious because the vocals on All Fine, all the singles that are out now, it's much more dynamic. But the sound, again, is still there. That raw tenacity is still there. So How do you do it, man?
I don't know, with passion. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, it's like an
uh,
alternation of fresh parts and like God Madel's chorus and crazy breakdowns. I think this is the direction that I know that this is the direction that All Fine is going through, and I'm really happy with this direction. I love everything. I love all the songs from All Fine, and I can't wait to hear this. So
I mean, the direction is absolutely fantastic. From hearing the clean vocals at times be much more clean, much more pronounced, and then hearing some of those screams, some of those more whisper screams, well, being as powerful as they were on God Made Hell, but then also seeing some of those vocals just get so dirty and as like a deathcore growl sense. But every song that I've listened to off the album so far, the thing that just shocks me about it is with that wide of a vocal range that this band goes with, that everything hits in every step of the way. There is nothing that seems out of place. There is nothing that seems like it's done, just willy-nilly. It seems like it fits perfectly in there. It flows with every part of the song. When those deathcore growls come in on certain breakdowns, it gets heavy, like the breakdown for Dead Circus. I have no idea how you even came up with those, man, but my God, that almost, while I was listening to that song again while working on this, I almost flung out of this chair. I just went backwards, almost fell out of it. I was that shocked by it, and I had been blasting in the car for a couple of days too. It's just, this thing keeps getting me every time, which makes me want to just see you guys live, throw down a mosh pit, and just see the reaction of everybody like, this actually exists. Like, this actually exists. This band actually exists in real life.
It gotta be happen. It will happen.
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as possible.
We hope to see you in our mosh pit during the Dead Circus breakdown.
You can actually mosh with Bryan.
Yes.
Because you put in sets into the crowd, so you can actually.
Usually, I throw myself.
do that.
Oh, perfect. Because, well, I'll put it this way. I'm not going to try and knock him and make him, not be able to sing. We need to make sure that Bryan's able to continue on with the show, but we're still going to go crazy. We're still going to have a fun time. And I'll put it this way, every single song, every single breakdown, every single chorus, every single heavy verse that you guys go with, you're not going to see me anywhere but the middle of that pit. If you see me not in that pit, it's because I got flung so far out to the side, I'm trying to make my way back in, or because I fell down and I need people to help pick me up.
Okay.
Don't worry, if you're in trouble, we will stop the show. If anyone is in trouble, yeah.
Oh, if anyone's in trouble, you'll see everyone go like this and you'll know.
Yeah.
Every time. But before we go a little bit more into All Fine and with some of the songs specifically, have you guys been able to play any of these songs live up to this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A lot of time. Yeah.
What has been the reception for these songs in a live setting that you've seen so far?
They were crazy because we actually played our first headliner show at the Emo Night in Milan. How many time ago? How many months?
It was the 1st of July.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty back then.
Back then, this summer, yeah. But people's reaction was crazy, actually. So we really hope to see these kind of reactions all the way through Europe and in future US and everywhere.
Well, I'll put it this way. I do not think you guys are going to have any problem getting this kind of crazy reaction throughout Europe, especially with you guys already having a pretty good established base there, especially within the Italian metalcore community, especially branching further out with you guys able to go out and play shows in other places in Europe as well. In the US, the key is just going to be on people like myself, on people that I know, trying to get them to listen to you guys as much as possible and to promote you guys as much as possible. Because when you come over to the US, I don't want to have people be like, oh, it's stain the canvas. I don't know them. I'll wait for the headliner. No, I want to make sure that everyone is jam-packed into that venue. People are showing up whenever you guys are ready to play. People are showing up at those venues, ready to go, full of energy. And when that first song comes on, all of a sudden you see that crowd all bunched up. And then in the middle, you just start to see this big, giant, gaping hole emerge. People just spreading out. And then right when everything hits, boom.
Yeah.
Crazy
mosh
mosh pits.
We want to see that.
Well, if anyone's going to make that happen, I better be the one to do it.
You're the man.
Yeah.
We're going to make it happen. And one other thing I do want to know is especially with the other, so out of all the songs that have not been released yet, because you guys have heard them, you guys know what they are. I don't know what they are yet or what they sound like yet, but in a live setting, what song that has not been released yet do you think is going to be the one that makes the audience go the absolute craziest?
Maybe Puppet, I guess.
Puppet, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
Puppet.
Why that one specifically?
I don't know, maybe because first of all, it has a cool intro, a cool creepy intro. Yeah.
A fucking banger.
Yeah, a little spoiler. We're going to begin our shows with that one, actually. With the intro of Puppet and then Puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no wonder why that one's going to be the one that's going to get the audience to go the craziest in a live setting that hasn't been released yet, because creepy intro already. Now you're setting the tone for the show. You're setting the mood. And then you guys come out. If you guys are going to be able to make the audience go crazy from the start, be intrigued with more of that darker, creepier intro, and then just get them all energized up through Puppet. You guys can go to so many different songs right after that and just keep the energy flowing. Just keep that show moving and get to a point where whoever has to follow you up on stage is going to be looking at each other and they're going to say, we have to follow these guys now.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the crowd going to be able to match with our energy because they just went through something that intense? Are people going to be able to handle this? And that's what you guys got to be like, well, we just want to make sure that everyone is getting the best show possible. You guys got a name to make for yourselves, especially once you get over here.
Yeah.
So make it that's the best way to make it happen. Make people what's the best way to describe it? When people leave the show, when the show's all done and people are going home, the band that's on their mind, the band that they're talking about, the show they're talking about, the set they're talking about is what you guys put out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
In fact, we're working
Yeah, it's our goal.
we're working on the live set actually to be perfect.
Yeah, we want to give a really cool experience for everyone who is going to come to our shows, because they deserve it.
Yeah, it's the experience we give to the people, so it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And
Everything has to be perfect.
and if you guys are going to get...
Yeah, nothing is
got to be
random. Nothing is random. Everything is studied in all the little details. Everything we have to say, everything we gotta play through between one song and another. Everything is studied.
So you guys...
Because,
go ahead.
Yeah, because we have to give people the best show possible. So that's our goal. Yeah.
So when it comes to giving us the best show possible, and in the same light of the same thinking from a fan's perspective, if you guys are going to give us your all, we're going to have to give you our all in the crowd as well. We're going to feel that energy and we're going to feed off it, and we're going to create this whole entire back and forth thing where you guys be giving your all on stage. We're going to feel that energy. We feel like we got to one up you guys and do even more than you. Then you see that coming from the crowd, and now you got to one up us, and it's just constantly trying to do better than the crowd, do better than the band, to the point where you guys are about to end your set and everyone is as energetic as possible. Everyone is just as amazed as possible with what is going on. And then that last song is just absolute utter mayhem. By the time it ends, everyone's asking one more song. And then you'll be like, no, one more set. We need more of this.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Totally.
And with you guys working on the live set as much as you are are there any potential interesting things you guys are going to be adding to it to make sure that energy comes through, that it stands out? Anything that is in your mind where you have to add this in a live show? Anything interesting you're going to do? Of course, if you don't want to give anything away because you want to make it a surprise, I totally understand. I'm just asking for a little bit of like a teaser in a way, so that I can just be like, why can't they be in the US right now so I can see this live?
Well, we currently use some, average stuff for live show, like, lights and
Yeah, we introduced these MIDI lights that go on time with the song, with the drum, and that was a nice step for us. And then we got the basic instrumentation for a live show.
yeah, actually, we can bring all the stuff on tour always.
Yeah.
That's
for space problem
for space issues. So we just hope to give the best show as possible, even without the lights and that kind of stuff.
Totally understandable. One band that always sticks on my mind when it comes to the best like live show without the most insane amenities in the background, not instrumentals. You get your your guitars, your drums, synths, whatever you need, and then basic lights. The best band I've ever seen do it is a band here in the US called Avoid. So if you get a chance to just look at what they've done, just the absolute insanity and energy that their shows bring. It's just, those guys just go out there. You can believe everything they're doing on stage is what they want to do. You believe every single lyric, and they just have so much fun doing it. If you guys are able to, bring that style of energy in your own way to a live show, it's going to be contagious. It's going to be something where people are going to start coming to these live shows, especially if you do a tour in the US. People are going to start hearing about it, and people are going to start coming to the live shows, not like specifically to see you guys play. I mean, it doesn't even matter what tour you guys are going on. It's like, I know it's going to come out, and I'm going to be at least one person that's going to say, what band are you here for? Oh, it's Stain the Canvas. Duh. Now, jump back into All Fine as well, because I know there's a good amount of songs out right now. I want to ask each of you this, and this is going to be probably a tough question, except for Lorenzo, because you already kind of answered that one, but maybe it's different. I'm not sure. Picking a favorite song on an album is, of course, always tough, because there's so many of them that you put so much time into, so many of them that you like. So let me ask this: if each of you had to say one song for someone to get into Stain the Canvas, someone to just be like, listen to this song, and this is going to be the one that's going to be your gateway into the band, on All Fine, what song would that be for each of you?
Who starts?
That's a tough question, because there's a lot of songs that we like that are our favorites. I mean, maybe my favorite one, maybe the best one for me, it's Dead Circus, maybe. But I mean, Puppet is another one that I would pick up for my favorite one. Yeah.
Ooh, good calls, especially because, I mean, we already talked about Puppet once, and all of a sudden we're twice already, we're bringing it up again. If you guys keep bringing this song up with Puppet, man, that's going to be the one where once the album comes out, everyone's going to be flocking to that song. We have to hear what this one is. So now you're getting me all excited for Puppet, even more so than I already was.
I'm gonna say actually the same songs as Ale, because I think that Circus and Puppets are the perfect Stain the Canvas style for this period, for this record. So yeah, I will say Dead Circus and maybe Puppet, then Dead Circus.
Another vote for Puppet. My God, why have I not heard this one yet?
And the eye for Puppet is going.
Yeah.
What if, plot twist, what if Puppet is not that good?
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Maybe Puppet is just an interlude.
The expectations are way too high, and then people is going to say, nah, I hear it better.
No, that's not possible.
No, that's not possible. You sure?
Masterpiece.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's sure.
Yeah, well, I would say I can pick one between Dead Circus and Puppet. Yeah, Puppet is very important to me, and it sounds good. But Dead Circus, I don't know, maybe it's the peak of Stain the Canvas. It's we reached the peak, you know.
By now.
By now, of course, because as I told you before starting this interview, the third album is going to be way better. So yeah,
You can bet it.
yeah. So yeah, I would say that Circus, maybe a little bit than Puppet.
So we've got like Puppet, Dead Circus, Puppet, Dead Circus, Dead
Yeah.
Circus, Puppet. But I mean, those are constantly the top two. I mean, we already heard Dead Circus. We know how insane that song is. And now it's, I still want Puppet right now. Like, I gotta hear this thing. All right, Bryan, what about yourself? What song would be like the standout song for you on this album?
Puppet is my favorite. And second one is the circus, but at the same level, I love Hope, because I think
Oh
it's
yeah, Hope.
very,
Yeah, Hope is
very
another good one.
particular. Yeah, it's very particular, and yeah, I love it.
All right, Hope's another one that still has yet to come out, and now that one's starting to creep up the list as well of songs that I'm looking forward to hear, but I don't think it's going to be Puppet at this point because all four of you guys have said Puppet. If it's going to have a creepy kind of intro to it into something that you all said is like peak Stain the Canvas for 2022, because like you said, Lorenzo, that third album is going to be even better than the second. But again, like I said earlier, that first one was fantastic. This second one already, from just the songs we've heard so far, is even better. Like if the third one's gonna top that, are you guys on like some sort of Bring Me the Horizon trajectory in terms of, you know, all of a sudden, okay, you know, people starting to get into it, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you guys make an album that's just as influential as Sempiternal, and then you guys ride this gigantic wave to the point where all of a sudden all these, you know, these festivals are trying to find headliners in like 10 years. Next thing you know, it's like, okay, who's headlining day one? Stain the Canvas. Yep, because people love the absolute insanity and epicness of this style of music.
Yeah, it would be so.
Yeah, we hope so.
so cool. Yeah, it would be our dream actually,
Yeah.
or goal.
Yeah,
Or
we'll put it as the goal, because if it's a dream, it's like, okay, but are we
Yeah.
actually, if it's a goal, it's like, alrighty, that's what we want to achieve. We know the steps we have to get there. Of course, being able to get there, because not like barely anybody gets to that point. It's very tough to do. But with this style of sound, and with people getting more into that metalcore style as well, my God, it's definitely a goal. It's not a dream. It's a goal at this point.
Yeah, it is since day zero.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since day zero, all the way back in what, 2018, 2019?
2019
Yeah, maybe
when we
even
first released Like a
before
God.
that.
Yeah, actually, yeah, of course it was before that, because we just released Like a God in 2019, but the band formed in 2018.
Yeah, we were for long
Yeah,
before Like a God.
And then Like a God comes out and it's just, whoa. Like everyone who got to hear it was like, whoa. And then now we just got to get more people to, you know, stay in the camp. So you got to get more people to listen to it. We got to get these YouTube reactors to start. When Puppet comes out, we got to give them a listen to Puppet, because I just want to see some people lose their minds on camera during this. I mean, I might have to do one myself specifically for this. Have never done one like that, but I might have to do one specifically just because, well, I want to make sure you guys get as well known as possible off of this album. Make sure that everyone has a chance to listen to Stain the Canvas, to get into you guys, because, God, I can keep saying it. The songs that you guys have released on this album so far, they're just so good. They're so full of life in terms of the heaviness, this orchestral theatrical feel behind them, which really makes your sound much more epic than many other bands, or almost any band that's in any sort of genre out there. It stands out so much, and it makes you feel like you're basically in like the fight of your life every single time, but you're gonna be victorious because it's a movie. But it's a movie where you're the main character, where you're the hero. And of course, if it's the hero in the movie, the hero's not gonna die in the movie. No. This one makes these songs make you feel like you basically could be invincible at some point.
We want to be the villain, actually.
So you guys are
we're
gonna be
the
the villain
of the
beating me
story.
up. Yeah, you guys are gonna be the villain beating me up with all these songs trying to put in the pit, and then after it's all said and done, the pit clears out, and I'm just gonna be standing up. One more song, guys. Wait, scratch that. One more set. We need more. We need more.
Can I ask you something now?
Yes.
What is your favorite song so far?
My favorite, that is tough. The ones that I've heard from the albums for all the singles that have been released, the two that stand out to me are, one is Dead Circus. Absolutely one is Dead Circus. But the other one that stood out to me the most is the single you released the day before we recorded, Obla Di Obla Die. So with Obla Di Obla Die, why I absolutely really got in this one, I'm just going to make sure I pull up my notes on this because I went as deep as possible in the song. From all the songs that you guys have out at the moment of shooting this, I thought this one was your most experimental one today that I have heard, because it was that orchestral theatrical style that's really kind of also in the background of your metalcore style. That was mostly removed at this point to go with something that had more of this like also potential darker like trap beat, heavy electronic metalcore style, more distorted feel. And it works so well within there because you get to that song opening. It reminds me so much of Silent Planet's song Signal, where it's heavy, it's raw, it's in your face, but also has this distortion feel to it. Now we get to the verses a little bit, and it's like, okay, now we get a little bit more of this like darker kind of like trap beat feel. We get some darker distorted vocals. And now I'm kind of just like, wait, what's going on here? Just kind of really freaking out about it a little bit more. Then we get to the chorus, and it reminds me of like While She Sleeps. I'm like, how is this absolutely working out in every capacity? It doesn't sound like them, but it's just the overall flow of the chorus. It reminds me a lot of While She Sleeps 2021 album. And it just creates this like idea for us to really like sink into it the whole entire song, sink into the meaning. But when you bookend the song with that Silent Planet Signal style, and then you have everything else in between, and you don't really have much of that orchestral style in there, I'm like, this band can go as heavy as they want. They can try all these different things as they want, and it still sounds just as epic as every other song. It still sounds just as grand. It still sounds just as powerful. And it just makes me so happy with the fact that you guys are creating music like this and that it's real. Like, it's a thing. But if I had to pick one or the other, it's got to be Dead Circus. So I got to agree with you guys. There is something about Dead Circus that just has this, again, it has that creepy kind of like circus intro, which I was like, okay, this definitely makes sense. But then it goes heavier because it goes all over the place. But it's that breakdown. Yikes. That's all I can say is like when I got to the breakdown, I literally wrote, this is now probably my favorite song from Stain the Canvas. Literally, because it goes nasty, like To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's the one I'm a little nervous about when it comes to the pit, because the question is, am I going to make it out alive?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Hey man, if I'm able to make it, if I made it out alive after Lamb of God and Slipknot in the same day, I've got a chance.
Yeah, you do.
I'll put it that way. But man, when it came to Dead Circus, I like your creativity to start out with this like creepy circus, tie into this like theatrical electronic but heavy metalcore style throughout the whole entire song. It made it seem like, this is definitely Stain the Canvas. This is Stain the Canvas at this moment, like you said, at the peak for 2022. But it's not the peak for the band. It is the peak for this year at this point. But then blasts in the face with this brutal deathcore heavy style breakdown. Oh my God, this is utterly beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
So, like, I mean, I can't wait to, like, this song is one that's getting people to go absolutely nuts live. I can't wait to see this live myself. I mean, I want it, like, I'm like a little kid on Christmas, like, I want it now!
You will hear it because we're going to play it on every set. So
sure.
yeah,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
you will definitely hear it.
I don't know why, but you will hear it.
Oh, I don't
When?
feel like I'm
So,
gonna.
when? Sorry.
When?
Yeah. Do we know when? Not yet. Am I good?
good?
Yeah. Do we know when I'm going to hear it? No. Am I going to be able to hear it, though? Absolutely, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
One thing I'm actually going to be curious to see what you guys do, especially once the full album is out and you guys are back to touring once again and have all the songs from All Fine to pick from, but also all the songs from God Made Hell to pick from, what the set list is going to look like, because some of those songs that God Made Hell, I'm like, they would work, like all of them work incredibly well with a lot of the songs on here in terms of creating a set list to create that heavy, energetic style and that epic theatrical orchestral feel to it that you guys have in this music. So if you guys have like an idea behind what songs you're putting in a live set now with All Fine coming out from God Made Hell, what songs are you guys going to be putting on that set list? Because I also want to throw down to some of those too.
Well, it depends on how much time we got for for our
Yeah.
for the show.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out.
Yeah,
actually.
we got 3 set lists actually. I don't remember them, but maybe Ali does.
Yeah, we have a set list for a 30 minute set, so 30 minutes and 20 minutes, so we can choose everything that we need. And the shorter one, I think there's no God Made Hell tracks on there because we have to push more the newer one, the new entries of the set list.
Yeah.
But in the longest one, we have 2 songs from God Made Hell that are Hell Made Me and Amoeba, that's for sure. And the other one are from All Fine, because we all think they are clearly better than God Made Hell, and they're way more fun to play actually live.
Yeah.
Maybe we could spoil the 20 minutes one.
Do you
Guys
want
agree.
to spoil it?
I don't know.
I know it by memory.
If you you
I'm
don't remember?
Wait.
Oh wait.
Oh, Bryan.
Yeah, I remember it.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, I
Bryan.
actually remember,
Okay.
but okay.
We start with Keep Dancing, is the intro of
Intro.
Puppet, and then Puppet, Stolen You, Obladi Obladai, and Dead Circus, and yes.
Closing
This
with
for,
Dead
20
Circus.
minutes.
Closing with Dead Circus.
No, actually.
No, we
uh,
actually close with end as the
Yeah.
closing track.
And-
Song.
End for the last one. End.
Okay, I'm
And
sorry,
is-
I messed up on that one then.
That's-
No problem.
So end with
Yeah, it's
end,
pretty
but
tricky.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, I heard end. I'm like, okay, then that's it. I totally forgot you guys have a song called End on this album, and it's already out for people to listen to. And even at the end of like listening to that one, my write up on this one, I was like, my God, can this band do no wrong with their creativity and molding of their own sound around it? Like that one was also one that kind of threw me off a little bit, but again, it still works so well with your style though. Like your guys' creativity when coming up with these songs and writing them just absolutely blows my mind. I don't know how you guys do it, but all I know is just keep doing what you're doing. Keep on the path that you guys want to go on because, man, listening to this is just absolutely incredible. I'm struggling to find words to continue to describe this album besides just like incredible, outstanding, amazing, album of the year. I'm starting to run out of like overly positive words to say about it. Not because it's like, oh, there's only so many you can say. No, it's because literally the English language only has so many, and I'm starting to use like all of them. I'm gonna need to pull out the dictionary to be like, okay, we need this word, now we need this word, now we need this word that's like transcendently sonically insane. I'm starting to run out of words myself.
Thank you so much.
So one other thing I want to ask you guys is, if just a little bit of the teaser stuff, if you guys are able to give it. If not, no big deal. Totally understand. This album's going to be released on November 18th. And then we're going into 2023. Question is, what are the plans to make 2023 the best year for Stay in the Canvas so far?
Well, of course, we need tour.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
touring at first place.
A lot. Yeah.
And maybe we're going to release some standalone singles, but it's actually my idea. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
We will see.
We will see.
Yeah, but I think that
Yeah, we
touring
don't know.
2023
Touring in
it's
first place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
also because it's the funnest thing in everything.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's the best part
funniest
of
part
this
of the work.
of everything.
Well, I hope that you guys get to tour as much as possible because, again, people need to experience what you guys have put together in a live setting. It's needed to just take the absolute epicness and this like theatrical orchestral creativity to your metalcore style. It needs to be felt in that live setting. That energy needs to be felt for people just to absolutely understand the power that this music has, that you guys have created, the power that it has for them to be like, oh my God, I think I found one of my new favorite bands right here with this.
Thank you.
Hope so.
And when it comes to touring in 2023, I mean, I'm not talking about places that you guys might be planning on going, but what are some places that you guys absolutely are like, if we're going to tour in 2023, we have to go here in terms of either countries, cities? Is there any city that you guys have played in previously where you want to go back to really badly because the crowd was just that incredible? Like, what cities and what countries do you want to make sure you visit to give people a live show in 2023?
Well, of course, we definitely want to come to the US. Of course.
it's our dream.
That's the
We
dream.
need to come to the US, of course.
Dream.
Yeah, we definitely need to. And
Every seat in the US.
we
But
don't
Even the
mind.
smallest
But
one, we
Chicago,
don't care.
Chicago, it will be the first place. That's a
Also
promise.
Los Angeles,
Oh, sure.
of course. And I mean, the more cities we can tour, the more the happier we are. So yeah, and we would like to come back to Prague. Prague is the is it correct?
Yeah.
Prague. Okay.
Czech Republic?
Yeah. No. Did we ever?
Yeah, Brno.
Did
You
we
went
ever?
Brno.
We
Prague,
played
actually.
Brno, actually.
Near Prague. What is it called?
Brno.
In Czech Republic.
Brno. Yeah,
Czech
Brno.
Republic.
Brno. I'm sorry. Brno is not famous as Prague, but
It's like the second city.
Oh, really?
Of Czech Republic, I think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Well, we definitely.
Yeah,
need
that
to
one was
go
crazy.
there. Yeah.
That one
Also
was
in-
crazy.
Yeah. Also in Leipzig,
Yeah.
in Germany.
Yeah.
And let me think.
Budapest.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Budapest.
Budapest. It's
And
yeah.
Oh, and we want to tour the UK.
Yeah,
UK,
we've never been into the UK, so it would be so cool. It will be
It will.
so cool. Oh no, I spoiled too much. Cut.
No, it will be cool when you guys arrive there. When that happens,
Yeah, when that happens, it will be cool. Yeah.
yeah, it will be cool. There we go. We saved it right there. But Budapest, though, the last band that I talked to literally the same day we recorded this, when I asked them the same question, like what show on their recent tour was like the best show they had, and they said Budapest, and I was just blown away by it because I had never heard a band say Budapest was like the craziest show or the best show. And now you guys are saying Budapest as well as like a place that you have to go back and play.
Yeah.
What's going on in Budapest?
Love the city, actually.
Yeah.
yeah, because it's also a very beautiful city. It's really fun to tour.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
We had so much
Fun
good
there,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, fun.
Alrighty, I gotta make a mental note of this. If I don't get a chance to see Stay in the Canvas in the United States, I have to travel to Europe and either see them in Italy or see them in Budapest?
Italy will be even better
Italy
because
better.
we got a lot of supporters here, of course, and yeah, so you would attend a great show.
Get it okay, if there's a hometown show that I can somehow make my way out to, fly 5,000 miles just to make it there, I mean, that seems like it would be worth it. Absolutely, it would be worth it.
You will get free merch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'll probably already be wearing a Stain the Canvas shirt by the time I walk in there anyway.
Yeah. By the way, you won't need to do it because we will definitely come to the States at some point. Yeah.
We'll come to the
Yeah.
States at some point, and we got to make sure that you guys are able to come to the States at some point. We got to make sure that everyone gets a chance to stream All Fine or listen All Fine, buy it, download all that stuff, watch all the music. We got to make sure everyone gets into this, and then when you guys announce those upcoming tour dates, wherever they are, whenever they are, we got to make sure people are feverishly buying these tickets because they need to see how absolutely amazing, intense, incredible this album is performed live, how this show is live. We want to, this has to be an event. This can't just be like, oh, it's another concert. No, this is an event. This is a thing you have to go to see.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Say, I've been waiting over 2.5 years for it, and I have to wait even longer. Hopefully not 2.5 years longer, though. Hopefully, a couple months longer, or maybe less than a year longer. And that's what I'm hoping for because,
Yeah.
like, I gotta be in one of these mosh pits while you guys are playing and just going absolutely crazy. I got to make sure it happens.
It will happen.
Yeah, it will.
It will happen. Well, guys, as we bring this podcast to its conclusion, one thing I always like to do at the end of this is give you guys a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug, promote whatever you want to promote at the end of the podcast. So, gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Well,
Okay.
thank you to everyone, to our supporters, of course, and please stream our music as much as you can, as much as you want. And also, always remember, it's really important to support a small band. I mean, yeah, we're still small. New coming bands really needs your support. So
Yeah. Also in the easiest way, like
yeah,
I don't know,
listen,
pre-saving the song.
yeah,
Give us money.
because if we got the attention you think we deserve, then we will be able to do to grow more and come as soon as we can to the States and tour the world at some point. So yeah, what I'm saying is it's really important to support your favorite band, especially the smaller ones. So yeah. Thank you if you're doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you if you're going to do it. And yeah, that's it.
And thank you to having us tonight.
Oh yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, really good pleasure every time.
It is always a pleasure to have you guys in the podcast. It's something where, again, when I had the opportunity to make it happen, I'm like, I got it. I have to. This isn't something that it's like I have to because it's a band at a podcast. No, this is a band that after listening to God, after my friend showed me, I'm like, oh my Lord, this is something that is incredible. So when the second album's able to come out and I see it happen, it was a no-brainer. Like this had to be done for the sheer fact of we needed to bring you guys back onto the podcast. We needed to make sure that your music gets out to as many people as possible that we can hopefully influence. And that influence is growing every day. So we're not stopping it.
We will be happy to come back every time you want us. Yeah.
Just text us.
Perfect.
And we'll come back.
Will do. Now it's time for me to close this podcast with 3 things. So, as the guys had said, for smaller bands, the best thing you can do to support them is literally anything. Any small action helps, whether it's from pre-saving the songs, pre-saving the album, ordering some merch, getting the album on vinyl if there's vinyl available, or whatever is available. Buy some merch, get the t-shirt, watch the music videos, give them a like on all their social media, follow them on all their social media, all that stuff. It's all fantastic. But we're going to take it one step further. So you're going to want to do all that stuff for Stay in the Canvas, right? But instead of having to go and actually find all that stuff yourself, let me do the work for you. If you go to the description of the podcast, it will say find Stay in the Canvas online. There'll be links to all their social media accounts, links to where you can watch the videos on YouTube, links to where you can get any merch that you want from the Stay in the Canvas too. As Ali said, give them money. Or you're also going to have your like Spotify, Apple Music links down there so you can pre-save the album, you can listen to the band, and you can be as amped up as possible when All Fine drops on November 18th, because when that drops, I know the first thing everyone's going to do. Well, I implore you to listen to the album from top to bottom, even though I know you're going to want to go to Puppet right away, like myself, but no, listen to it from top to bottom. Really get immersed in the whole entire experience. I'm putting in all the work. All the links are down there for you guys. All you have to do is click on them and take it from there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And now it's time for number 2. And I believe I did this the last time you guys were on. I'm not sure if I started that tradition yet, but whenever I'm guesting the podcast, I tend to make a certain promise. I enjoy having the podcast. You guys, I mean, this is a no-brainer. I was like, I wanted to bring you guys back on the podcast so bad, and I knew it was going to be a great episode, which it was. So I believe the promise I made you guys last time was when I get to see you perform live for the first time, that the first round was on me. Well, it's been 2.5 years. This is your second time on the podcast. I have not seen you perform live yet. So it's not first rounds on me. It's first 2 rounds are on me now.
We're coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, these guys are going to get on a plane. I'm going to end up seeing them play a show in like 3 days here just because of that. And I would be happy with that. I'd be fine with that.
It would happen.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And as we bring this podcast to conclusion, this is something I cannot say. I cannot say goodbye to you guys. This is the second time I've had on the podcast. I can't wait to bring you guys back on the podcast once again. And I hope, actually, I'm making sure of this, between the next time I bring you on the podcast and before album 3 releases, I will see you guys perform live, and I will end up paying up on those debts of first 2 rounds on me. So I cannot say goodbye. That is too final. I will have to end it by saying, I'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
Cool.
Well, folks, that's my interview with the guys, Bryan, Lorenzo, Ricardo, and Ale from the band Stain the Canvas out of Italy. Once again, their brand new album, All Fine, is coming out on November 18th. God Made Hell, their original album, was one of my favorite albums of 2020. It was an album of the year contender. I think it came in overall at number 7, which is, for a debut album, is damn good. You want to know what's going to happen with this one with All Fine? Oh, dear God. You're not going to want to miss out. You're going to want to pre-save it, pre-order it, because Puppet still hasn't released yet. It's those guys' favorite song on the record, and it still is not yet to come out. I mean, I can't wait to go and listen to this thing. Is it November 18th yet? Well, time of recording this, it's not. By the time it comes out, it's not. By the time you might be listening, it might already have been November 18th, 2022. So if you have not been following Stay in the Canvas online on their social medias, if you have not watched their music videos, if you've not pre-saved this album, pre-downloaded it, or like pre-saved it, pre-ordered all that stuff, or if you're after November 18th, 2022 listeners, if you haven't downloaded it yet, if you haven't listened yet, streamed it yet, go and do that right now. Link script for the podcast. Find Stay in the Canvas online. Go to those links. Follow them on social media. Support the guys. Buy some merch like I'm going to do. And, of course, listen to the music. All the links are down there for you. Go follow along. Go help them out. And let's bring them to the U.S. and make sure this band gets the recognition they so absolutely deserve. Please make sure you're also following along with the Chord Progression Podcast. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for your viewing pleasure. We are also on YouTube, so subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch these podcast episodes. You can also listen on Spotify, Podcast, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and anywhere else you might be getting your podcast. Thank you, Brit Media, for helping that out on the audio stream-wise. At the beginning of the year, audio stream-wise, we were like just over 5,000 audio streams. By the time we're recording this, we're over 40,000, 43,000 actually. Yep, over 43,000. By the time this comes out, we might be at 60 at that point. My God, this is awesome. So be sure to go and do that. Follow along with the Chord Progression Podcast. Subscribe to it because it helps us out. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button. If you are subscribed or you're subscribing right now, a gigantic thank you, because, man, it means a lot. So, again, thank you very much. On top of that as well, please remember to check out our sponsor, Manscaped. Type stuff in free shipping code CPP at manscaped.com. Link shipped to the podcast. Thank you guys for staying the canvas. I always love having you guys in the podcast. This is incredible. And I cannot wait to see you guys perform live some point soon. Hopefully in 2023. I cannot wait to see that happen. if I got to come over to Italy to see you guys perform live, even better. And for all of you out there listening, go support these guys. Go see them live. You're not going to regret it. You're not going to regret the epicness that you're going to see. So on that note, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of these episodes with a big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah!